It's said that if you build a better mousetrap, the world will beat a path to your door. In 2014, Ryan Grepper seemed to have done exactly that on Kickstarter with his Coolest Cooler campaign, pulling in 62,000 total backers and about $13 million for the concept. Let me stress this, for the concept. While Kickstarter is one of a very few crowdfunding sites that require a prototype, that doesn't mean a finished product actually will be produced or even exists. You can still find the Coolest Cooler on the Kickstarter website labeled as a project we love, the kind of thing that pretty much guarantees that backers might flock to the concept and part with their hard-earned money. All the hoopla surrounding the campaign made Grepper something of a media darling. He was asked to appear on TV and speak to other entrepreneurs concerning how they could also achieve such superstar levels of success for their own campaigns. And then, inevitably, it was time to actually produce the Coolest Cooler on a mass scale. It seemed simple enough. Many crowdfunded items were a mashup of separate things brought together in ways others might not have even considered that caught the consumer's attention. Coolest Cooler melded together several things in just this way: a battery-powered blender, Bluetooth-enabled speakers, even a built-in USB charger for your other electronic devices. A whole host of things were to go into the product. Oh, and it would also keep your drinks cold too. As time wore on, there were delays. A strike in China that caused manufacturing shutdowns. Redesign of components. Replacements of types of components. While delays in crowdfunded items is nothing new, delivery for backers kept receding into the distance. Money was getting tight for manufacturing the thousands of coolers not yet delivered to concept backers as promised. Years went by, coupled with pleas for additional funds from the patiently waiting backer faithful. To cover its manufacturing costs, the company in 2015 started selling coolers for $500 on Amazon, shipping to those customers while thousands of backers waited. Complaints stacked up, and in September 2016, the Oregon Department of Justice confirmed it was investigating Coolest Cooler, something unprecedented in crowdfunding. At that point, production had halted and then restarted, and 40,000 coolers had already been shipped. Grepper acknowledged that the last few months of 2016 had been tough. It only got worse for Grepper and Coolest Cooler backers as time went on. By the end of 2019, having run out of money and time, plus facing having to make good on an agreement with the Oregon Department of Justice for cash payments to unfulfilled backers, Coolest Cooler went belly up, leaving over 20,000 backers with nothing after all those years of patience. What things could have told folks this would fail? The man behind the cooler. Grepper, in retrospect, was an idea man, not a manufacturer. He had a good concept, but no experience in bringing such an ambitious effort to market. The result is that he made several expensive mistakes along the way that ate into the capital raised before the first production model ever was made. An extremely aggressive timeline for production that should have been questioned is also at fault. Launched in July of 2014 and scheduled to ship as a finished product in December of that same year, how did anyone expect anything other than delays? After all, manufacturing processes require time for things like sourcing raw materials, parts, subcontracting assemblies, and so forth. Then there's the means of raising money for the coolers. Crowdfunding. Sites like Kickstarter and others work best when doing small, simple, limited runs of experimental items, rather than a campaign requiring thousands of units in a short time frame. While things can be promised, the sites themselves take no responsibility should campaigners fail to deliver in a timely manner due to the terms of service backers are required to accept when pledging money. That's all the sites are, you see, conduits for transferring money from backer to campaign, taking their cut of the take along the way and keeping it no matter what. Kickstarter and its payment processor pocketed approximately $1 million in fees associated with this project. Quite a haul that they don't have to share with anyone or give back to anyone. These are some of the obvious factors that led to the demise of Coolest Cooler. The only upside is that many of those previously starry-eyed backers have sworn off crowdfunding forever, as they learned that they weren't reserving a purchase, but merely a promise, backed by a concept. It was an expensive lesson to learn, something seen far too often in crowdfunding.